Afghanistan to Australia, 2010. You are cycling to school with your brother when you see a group of people standing on the cliffs. You can hear them shouting. They seem to be looking down at something in the water. You can't tell what. It could be a whale, a shark, a boat that's come loose from its moorings. You want to know, so you and your brother cycle over to the edge, dump your bikes and go to look down. There's a medium-sized wooden boat on the water, 15 metres long. It's close to the cliffs, breakers tossing it up close to the rocks. Now you can hear that the shouting is not coming from the people on the cliffs, but from on the boat. And you understand the boat is full of people. There must be 100 men, women and children being tossed up and down on the waves. The waves surge towards the cliffs, then crash back off them, and the water swirls and froths impossibly. Passengers are holding onto the edge of the boat like they're on a roller coaster or some ride, and they're screaming too. But it's not roller coaster screaming. The boat is pathetic. It's just planks of wood with tarpaulin over the top to keep the sun off. The tarpaulin is torn. You hear more shouts, but the words' meanings are lost between and beneath the waves. Asylum seekers, your brother says. They're mad, you say. I mean, it's dangerous. Their funeral, he says, half laughing. You both know, and you don't need to be told, that the people on the boat have motored south from Indonesia with the idea of coming to your island and claiming asylum. Christmas Island, your home, is Australian territory. These asylum seekers think Australia is safe and rich. They want a better life. They're probably from Iraq or Iran or Afghanistan. You learned about them in school, that they might be escaping war or danger, that they've made the decision to live somewhere else. And that's fine by you, as long as they don't stay on your island. You don't care where they're from or where they're going. More shouts, clearer voices, Australian voices. Local voices from below. You're missing something. So you move closer to the edge and you can see more people down there at the foot of the cliffs, a dozen of them. They're locals from your village. They're throwing life jackets, but their life jackets, luminous yellow and orange, spin from the rocks towards the boat until the wind catches them and they drop into the water short of the boat. More screams as the boat is lifted and turned half on its side. You hear it before you see it. An undertow drags the boat too close to the cliffs and the boat hits the rocks. The boat shudders, 2 or 3 people losing their grip, falling off and into the sea. Those people just vanish. And you hear the noise of wood on rock a second later. It doesn't sound good. A boat like that, some badly made foreign thing, it won't take many more hits than that. You hear more shouts and you see more life jackets spin towards the stricken boat. An urgency from the locals trying to help, but the booms of the waves and the cracks of the boat mean you cannot hear any shouting now. Then the boat strikes the rocks again and more people fall in. The boat remains intact. There is a sharp smell of diesel and more screams. Another surge of white water bounces back off the cliffs just as a huge wave lifts the boat and twists it. Inevitably, the boat hits the rocks again. This time, it disintegrates. The boat's slim, dark shape is gone. Your mind can't take it in. The shape of the brown wooden 15-footer is now spreading, with plastic bags and clothes and things you can't identify floating in the space where the boat once was. And people, you see people in the water too. Is it people? Is it really people? Smaller people. Children. Are they really children in the water? Few of them have life jackets. They can't see the ropes being flung at them from the base of the cliff now, not as they try to stay above water, waves breaking over them, their ears, their eyes and mouths flooded by the cold sea. Your brother has squatted to watch. He's said nothing since the first rock strike. Weirdly, you see that part of the boat is actually still intact and that a young man or boy is sitting there, unmoving, a life jacket on. He's not shouting or screaming. He looks like he's waiting for a pleasure cruise or a fishing trip to end so he can climb out onto dry land. But he can't, and he won't, as the boat is tossed up by the waves and dragged down by what looks like a whirlpool. The part of the boat reappears, water washing across what is left of its empty deck. You turn and run to your bike, then cycle home, sprinting up the steps to your bedroom and your bed. You don't go to the cliffs anymore. Even though you live half a mile from the sea, you don't even go to the harbour. You never walk or cycle past the petrol station either. The smell of diesel makes your heart beat so hard that you can't seem to move your legs. And when you hear someone shout in the distance or someone scream, you shudder and have to reach out and have to hold on to something to steady yourself. Of the 92 people on board the ship, 42 survived. They were picked up by rescue boats that arrived as soon after theirs broke on the rocks and you left. But 50 died. 15 were children. Some were your age. One was a week younger than you. In fact, a boy like you. You tried to find out about him online, in the newspapers. He was called Ahmed. He was from Afghanistan. You wanted to know why he was on the boat. You found out that he was travelling with his father. They had to get out of his home country because they were in danger. His dad was a journalist. They could afford to pay to be on the boat, travel across Asia, then buy passage on a ship. You wanted to understand why it was safe for them to get on the boat like that and come to Australia than, say, stay in Afghanistan. You found out more things about Ahmed, but then you stopped. Like you stopped trying at school, like you stopped seeing most of your friends, and you don't always sleep some nights. When you close your eyes, you see the water moving and relive the moment that last part of the boat disappeared with the boy still visible.